So I think last we did ये वाला till this accepted blindly by the body and soul. So maybe we can just go through the lines to just have an overlap again. Then we can continue further. Huh?
ठीक है.
If you can read this, that would be nice.
ठीक है.
Hmm.
That hour had fallen now on Savitri, a point she had reached where life must be in vain, or in her unborn element awake. Her will must cancel her body's destiny, for only the unborn spirit's timeless power can lift the yoke imposed by birth in time, can erase, no, only the self that builds this figure of self can raise the fixed interminable line that joins these challenging names, these numberless lives, these new oblivious personalities, and keeps still lurking in our conscious acts the trail of old forgotten thoughts and deeds, disown the legacy of our buried self, the burdensome heirship to our vanished forms, accepted blindly by the body and the soul. मेरे को थोड़ा अपना बीच में 2-3 बार एको आया तो फिर कुछ गड़बड़ हो रहा है?
नहीं मेरे को ठीक है.
Okay.
It's okay. So this, as we last discussed, so now because she's here for a mission, and the mission is to cancel this law of the the death, the law of death, that one who is born has to die. So now this new law has to be created, which is actually agar if you listen to these talks over these lines, so one realizes that an avatar comes in time again and again to change these stone hard rules which slowly get developed in the line of evolution. तो जैसे कि हम लास्ट टाइम बात कर रहे थे कि वन कैन नॉट इवन थिंक ऑफ चैलेंजिंग death at all, being a human being, because we think that it is a process. One who is born is got to die. But this again, one who is born is got to die is just a passing phase of evolution. This has to change once the evolution proceeds further. So when avatars come, they bring along with them a new power, a new dawn, so that even these hard stone hard laws which we cannot even think of changing, they can now get changed, and maybe a new race can emerge. For example, in this case, where there would be no need for mortality, one can enjoy immortality. So now, for facing death of Satyavan, now to get confronted with the death, the god of death, Savitri has to muster up all the courage, gather up all her inner power. And Sri Aurobindo shares here that when one is confronted with such a dark challenge, a very, very difficult challenge, one does not know what would be the result. There, the power that comes to rescue is the power of the spirit. Only that power, because that is the one who is writing these laws, only that has the power to change these laws which appear so stone hard. As
A
it is said,
power of spirit, what does that mean?
yeah, ये देखो ये वाला है ना. In her unborn element awake, so she has to get in touch with that part in her which is unborn, which cannot die, the immortal part in her. For only the unborn spirit's timeless power, this is what I was referring to,
Okay.
can lift the yoke imposed by birth in time. For example, all the karma, the burden of the karma, knowing that it is there, yet it can be ruled over, it can be kind of striked off. Only the spirit's power can strike it off. Only the self, the capital S wala self, that builds this figure of self. For example, the person we are in this life has been created by the higher self that we are. Only the self in capital that builds this figure of self can raise, means erase, the fixed interminable line of incessant birth and deaths and birth and deaths, that joins these changing names, these numberless lives, new oblivious personalities. For example, the personality we are in this life, we are totally in oblivion of what we were before, in previous, these new oblivious personalities, and keeps still lurking in our conscious acts. So all the memory, all the tendencies from the past, as if they are burdening on us, but we are unaware, we are in oblivion. We are acting unconsciously through act, although we may think that it's a conscious act. It keeps still lurking in our conscious acts, the trail of old forgotten thoughts and deeds. So now what Savitri has to do, she has to get in touch with the power of her spirit, disown the legacy of our buried selves. She has to as if disown completely. Imagine, this, for example, जैसे राजाओं के बेटे होते हैं, they have to now own the heirship, now they have to run the throne. Imagine that a prince now has to disown that this kingdom does not belong to me. I am something apart from this kingdom as well. So now Savitri also has to disown the legacy of the karmas, the past thoughts, the deeds, all the past that is there in our buried selves, the burdensome heirship to our vanished forms, accepted blindly by the body and soul. And this is referring to the desire soul, as we were talking last time, how the desire soul continues taking the burden left from the past lives and now tries to complete it in the current life.
And you had used the word, like you used the sentence that, why there is a possibility that mortality is not needed, right?
Yeah.
तो एक्चुअली आई मीन एक तो है ये बोलने वाली बात, राइट, कि जो द थिंग दैट हैज नॉट बीन बॉर्न कैन नॉट डाई, राइट? सो एज इन देयर समथिंग दैट डाइज बट द थिंग दैट इज नॉट बॉर्न कैन नॉट डाई, और इट्स लाइक टोटल नो मोर्टैलिटी. तो उसमें भी इज देयर समथिंग दैट्स मेंशन्ड इन हियर दैट आई मिस, कि अभी
नहीं, अभी तो इतना ही है. और जो जैसे आप देखो ना, डेथ का कितना ब्यूटीफुल कॉन्सेप्ट है. मतलब जैसे हमने वो बुक भी पढ़ी थी, डेथ, डाइंग एंड बियॉन्ड. So when we say that something is dying, for example, even our body is dying, it's actually not dying, it's just changing the form. है ना. मतलब वो अब जैसे जिस मिट्टी पे हम आज चलते हैं, उस पे पता नहीं कितनी बॉडीज मिली हुई हैं उसमें. So actually the concept of death is just kind of a concept, I would say, it's actually changing energy, changing forms. But we get so attached to the bodily form that we think ये तो गई, it's gone now. It's actually not gone anywhere, it's just there in some different form. जैसे मेरे ख्याल से शायद कोई पोएम भी है ना इसी के ऊपर, that I'll be born as a flower and something like that. I don't remember now. Some English
नो
poem.
एज एन ये तो अभी भी इट्स द यूनिवर्सल ट्रूथ, राइट, कि देयर इज वो तो एक वो भी है ना, एक काइंड ऑफ न्यूटन्स लॉ, राइट, दैट एनर्जी कैन आइदर बी क्रिएटेड नॉट डिस्ट्रॉयड. तो वो तो अभी भी है. तो बट अब ये जिस टाइप की मोर्टैलिटी की बात कर रहे हैं, दैट साउंड फील्स एज इफ इट वुड बी डिफरेंट देन व्हाट इट इज राइट नाउ, राइट?
इसका हल्का हल्का ग्लिम्पसेस मदर की राइटिंग्स में मिलती हैं. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल द थिंग दैट शी वाज ट्राइंग टू डू विद द सेल्स, है ना, awakening the divine potential in the cells, so that the cells that form the matter remember their divine essence, so that they also know that they cannot die. अभी तो हमारी body, the matter is so thick, inconscient and hard, even the skin that we have, that although it is supple, but it's not as plastic as it could be, as it can be in future. So mother, there is one particular image that I remember, that mother saw herself in this new form that mother talks about, that a new superhuman will be born, where there would be no need to die. The matter will be such that the death will not be required. अभी तो मैटर हमारा ऐसा होता है ना कि दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड, फॉर एग्जाम्पल बॉडी ओल्ड हो जाती है, एज हो जाती है, तो उसको जरूरी होता है कि अगर इफ द सोल वांट टू कंटिन्यू द प्रोसेस ऑफ एवोल्यूशन, नाउ इट हैज टू चेंज फॉर्म, get a new form, because the resistance of the matter or limit of the matter is such कि इतने साल के बाद body is not capable enough. तो ये चेंज बताया है मदर ने अपने वर्किंग्स में, राइटिंग्स में. तो उसका आई थिंक देयर इफ वन कैन गो मोर इन दैट, बट इट्स हंड्रेड्स ऑफ इयर्स फार अकॉर्डिंग टू द
Yeah.
राइटिंग्स. या
And I think ये जो आपने word बोला required, right? Like if you obviously want to change or go say in another realm, I guess that would be a possibility. But it's not required as part of the thing, right? It has to end type. Yeah, so it could
रिक्वायर्ड,
be at will.
क्या रिक्वायर्ड की बात कर रहे हो?
जैसे आपने बोला ना कि mother is saying that won't be required,
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
right?
या
But it, yeah, okay, got it.
या एक्चुअली पता है, अब देखो ना कि the thing that we are there is some theory that we know that we are immortal, but still half of our lives are gone in this fear of being dead, है ना, fear of death lurking around the corner, if people are aware about that, है ना, कि जैसे बीमार होने से घबराते हैं, डेथ से घबराते हैं. तो घबराते हैं, मुझे लगता है ये कहीं ना कहीं हमको पता है कि वी आर इमोर्टल, और कभी वो चाह भी है, बट क्योंकि वी आर नॉट स्टेबलाइज्ड इन दैट इमोर्टेलिटी, तो डेथ इतना ज्यादा ओवर पावर करती है कि हम अपने आप को मॉर्टैलिटी से बहुत ज्यादा एसोसिएट करते हैं कि अगर बॉडी नहीं है तो मैं भी नहीं हूँ. तो एक जैसे चाह बनी रहती है कि व्हाई नॉट मोर इयर्स, जैसे people pass on from our lives and we think that थोड़े साल और हो जाते, थोड़े साल और हो जाते. So this yearning to enjoy, to be in delight, this will be actually given to the human race in the coming time. That is what mother shares. The delight of existence, the delight of immortality will be given much more in degree than now.
Okay.
Hmm. मेरे ख्याल से मुझे अगर अभी अभी की हम अपनी ह्यूमन कॉन्शियसनेस देखें तो अभी हम, हमारी हालत ऐसी है कि हम इतना ज्यादा जी के करेंगे भी क्या, है ना.
Exactly, हाँ.
हाँ, तो अब वो आगे जा जाके जैसे जैसे हम कनेक्ट होते जाएंगे टू अवर ओन डिवाइन पोटेंशियल, द द कैपेसिटी आल्सो विल इंक्रीज, यू वुड आल्सो बी डिलाइटेड टू लिव, कि मतलब कि चलो अब खत्म ही हो जाए, अब तो इतना बेकार जीवन हो गया.
Actually, my because see, honestly, the body gets so, especially like if you look at elders,
हाँ,
like it gets so troublesome, it gets so heavy, as in itni diseases, itna ye to lot of times you see them wishing that
बिल्कुल.
चाहे वो fully ना हो, फिर भी there's something in you that wants to live, but the body feels like oh my god, right? It had
हम्म,
had enough, right?
हम्म.
तो
और
वो एक
दूसरा, हम ओल्ड एज होते होते बहुत गिव अप भी करने लग जाते हैं ना, बिकॉज अगेन ओइंग टू हाउ इट इज द प्रोसेस राइट नाउ, है ना.
बट एक चीज और, ये जैसे अब आपने बोला कि द वे वी लिव आवर लाइव्स, राइट? तो
हम्म,
उसमें भी जैसे इफ आई एम लुकिंग एट थिंग्स लाइक लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स, लाइक पहले अगर हम देखते थे तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा एक वेल डिफाइंड स्ट्रक्चर्ड एक लाइफ था, राइट? कि पहले ये फिर वो, उसके बाद जब अब एक बार यू बिकम अ मदर, इफ यू बिकम अ वाइफ, दैट्स इट, जस्ट द किचन, जस्ट दिस. तो एटलीस्ट उसमें भी देर इज एवोल्यूशन, राइट? पीपल आर रीचिंग आउट मोर. जैसे पहले कोई ऑफिस ज्वाइन करता था तो रिटायरमेंट में निकलता था, है ना, लाइक 50 साल काम कर लिया
हम्म,
एंड ऑल. तो अब वो इतना फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी चेंजेस, तो इन अ वे वी आर लिविंग मेनी लाइफ्स इन वन बर्थ इवन नाउ, लाइक लॉट ऑफ अस, मे बी नॉट ऑल ऑफ अस. So probably that's also a step in that thing, that flexibility. Yeah.
टोटली टोटली विद यू, यस. क्योंकि पहले कभी ये जैसे अभी जिस तरह से चल रहा है, तो ये सोचा ही नहीं ना कि ये पैटर्न चेंज होगा लाइफ एंड डेथ का, लॉन्गिविटी इंक्रीज होगी. तो अब इवन इन द कॉन्शियसनेस ऑल्सो, एज यू सेड, द चेंज इज कमिंग, एंड एज more of us will be connected to our own inner calling, inner truth, only then I will want to live more, otherwise I will not want to, as you said. Yeah. So let's go ahead then. आज की लाइंस लेते हैं. An episode in an unremembered tale, its beginning lost, its motive and plot concealed. A once living story has prepared and made our present fate a child of past energies. So this Sri Aurobindo is using here an imagery like what happens in the TV serials. There are episodes, and then there is this whole story which is like a trailing thread which is connecting all the episodes. But if you look at as an episode itself, it is complete in itself. ऐसा नहीं लगेगा कि पीछे क्या था, ज़्यादा देख लो या आगे क्या था. Although it's just referring to again, our lives, how this life appears complete in itself, yet there are the dots connecting it to the past and also the dots that will connect it to the future lives. So, an episode in an unremembered tale. We don't know what happened in the past. We have no direct memory of those lives. Its beginning lost. Why did we start? What was the purpose? Its beginning lost. Its motive and plot concealed. So, this is how we usually live our human lives. Where did we start actually? What was the motive of the whole series? What is the plot? The plot is concealed. It's a mystery. It's an unfoldment. A once living story has prepared and made, referring to all the lives in the past which were once living. A once living story has prepared and made our present fate that we right now, today, in the moment live. So, right now, our present fate is a child of past energies. So, this is the imagery that Sri Aurobindo is using to how lives move on in succession, and they are complete in themselves, but there are many connecting threads which we are unaware of. Yeah.
ये जो beginning के two lines है somehow like I also felt like that big picture that an episode in an unremembered tale.
Mm-hmm.
Like say they say na how the human birth is like say one drama, right? Okay, this is one play, so this is one episode and this is another, so an episode in an unremembered tale के story एक लंबी चली आ रही है जिसमें we are taking different births, right,
Beautiful.
with
Yes.
different characters. So
Yeah.
beginning lost and motive like
Yeah.
motives and plot concealed, and we just focus and we feel just this is it, right,
This is
whatever
it.
is happening,
Yeah.
this is it.
Yeah. 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 So true. Yeah. I think this was I maybe I shared with you earlier. So Lokesh had done this art of living once, many years ago. So he had shared with me कि वहाँ पे कोई एक्सरसाइज कराते थे कि if your difficulty is appearing very big to you, then you imagine yourself like going out of Earth in the space, like going back again and again in the yeah. He did that before marriage. So, so then you imagine yourself moving out in space, like going away and away and away and away in space, and then looking at yourself, say, maybe from Earth's atmosphere, and then maybe from the moon, and then maybe from Jupiter, and then you realize that we are actually nothing more than a speck of, not even dust, if you move further away. So so true that we our problems and challenges appear so big, and we drench ourselves in those, and if we suddenly remember the larger picture, then maybe one can find a way ahead, all the time.
There are a lot of documentaries on this as well, where they kind of take you in space and
Hmm.
then say, this is Earth, this is this, this is this, and a lot of images also are shared like this, that
Yeah.
this is you, like, and you're nowhere,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so, and I guess once when you keep like losing and struggling and kind of not understanding, तो वो जो अभी आप बोल रहे हो कि how big the things seem to be, वो भी the stakes when they start getting low, then also it feels that you're getting something that there's nothing you can get, right? Like trying to make sense of everything is so limited that
बिल्कुल.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
The fixity of the cosmic sequences fastened with hidden inevitable links. She must disrupt, dislodge by her soul's force, her past a block on the immortal's road, make a raised ground and shape anew her fate.
Hmm. So this is what now Savitri has to do. All this, fix back to back arranged cosmic sequences, fastened with hidden inevitable links. We are not even aware of those links, and they are just connected, tied to each other very tightly, as if nothing can be done. She must disrupt, dislodge by her soul's force. This is what the mission is. She must disrupt, dislodge by her soul's force her past, a block on the immortal's road. So, as if, the imagery that Sri Aurobindo gives here is like a big block of rock, which is the past, is blocking the road towards the immortal, towards immortality, because she has to now confront with mortality. So, this past, the law of nature so far, the law of death so far, the big, huge burden of the past is blocking the road of Savitri and Satyavan to the road towards this immortality. This is what she has to dislodge. Imagine that there is a big rock in front of our way that we have to now dislodge, remove from the way. And this she has to do by her soul's force. There is no other force that has the capacity to do that. And further, in the further coming lines, we will see how the past few months prepared her to get in touch with her soul and to gather strength and courage and spirit and make a raised ground, a kind of a erased clean ground, make a raised ground and shape anew her fate, which is not connected with the past burden, with the past lives and the karma at all. This is what her mission is. This is her task. This reminded me of the this course New Creation of the Self. Uh, it's exactly this, new creation of the self. It's not. It's actually dislodging what was in the past and recreating something new for yourself, redefining yourself, recreating your own self and your own life, not being a puppet to your own past nature, previous tendencies. To question all that has been in the past. Yeah.
I should read, you will read.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know this word. A colloquy, I don't know, colloque of the original gods meeting upon the borders of the unknown. Her soul's debate with embodied nothingness must be wrestled out on a dangerous dim background. Her being must confront its formless cause against the universe weigh its single self.
Yeah. So, Now this is referring to what will come, like a prelude to what will come in book 9 and book 10, where Savitri will confront the god of death, the god of nothingness, the void. She will confront, she'll have a dialogue with the god of death. And this is just a reference to that. A colloquy, like a speaking together, a kind of a debate, a colloquy of the original gods, light and darkness. Those will meet in book 9 and 10. Meeting upon the borders of the unknown. Now, if we look, in the beginning, also in the symbol dawn, we came across this word called fathomless, not the void. So, that which is unknown, we have no idea what can happen there. And that is where the meeting will happen. The meeting upon the borders of the unknown. There is no idea what is there in that void. It's infinite, if it's abyss, it's fathomless. It's a territory which is totally uncharted, unmapped. Her soul's debate with embodied nothingness. This is what will happen. Embodied nothingness is what we call as death, the god of death, the lord of death, the lord of darkness, the lord of void, must be wrestled out on a dangerous dim background. Now this the background is very dangerous and dim. Why dangerous? Because we have no idea. It's an uncharted territory. Anything can happen. Dim because it's death. It is overpowering in nature. It's kind of a shadow. This is the background in which this wrestle, this debate will happen between Savitri's soul and the god of death. Her being must confront its formless cause. Formless because, when we talk about void, we have no idea of its form. What is exactly, where does it end? Where does it start? What is there, the content? And that is also the origin, the nothingness, as we say, the origin of everything, nothingness, the void. Her being must confront its formless cause, and obviously there is a lot of mystery around it. It's not that there is no more depth in these lines. There must be much more in these lines that we can be discussing here, and if there is more, just share. Against the universe weigh its single self. So as if there is there is a taraju, there is a weighing balance, and on one hand is the whole universe so far as it has been in existence, and now there is the single self of Savitri challenging the law of the universe. This is how the debate is going to happen.
This is of course like really big because we're talking about debating between light and darkness and talking about there, but in like in a smaller way,
Hmm.
it feels like whenever we challenge the situations that we are in,
Hmm.
right, we are kind of debating. There's a lot of unknown and
Bilkul.
stuff, and there's like danger and formless cause. People don't understand, you're not making any sense to them,
Bilkul.
and you're
Bilkul.
weighing against the world, right, like you are yourself. And
बिल्कुल we are weighing against the unknown, sorry, the known actually, है
yeah,
ना? So
उसमें
one
known,
side is the whole universe, the
yeah,
known territory, and then you are standing your own cause, standing against for the unknown actually,
uh,
but against the universe. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
And so today I had read a quote actually. It was a very simple thing. Like it was like, a black sheep in a
Hmm.
family, and that's always considered a negative thing to be, right?
Hmm.
So a black sheep is someone who would actually change things for the whole family, right? They would
Yeah.
be the people who would
Yeah.
actually make difference. So उससे मुझे
बिल्कुल.
थोड़ा सा relate हुआ.
बिल्कुल. Yeah. Yes, let's go further. On the bare peak where self is alone with naught, and life has no sense, and love no place to stand, she must plead her case upon extinction's verge. In the world's death cave, uphold life's helpless claim and vindicate her right to be and love. I think this is really beautiful, once you know that you are with truth, and only then one gets this power, this strength of being all by oneself. Otherwise we are all looking for handicaps and crutches, कि किसी का सहारा मिल जाए, लोग मेरे साथ हो जाए, all that. But if one is with truth, then one gets this courage, this strength, because truth connects us with the divine intensity within. On the bare peak, the barren bare peak, where self is alone, Savitri's higher self is alone in this debate with the naught, with the nothingness. And life has no sense, and love no place to stand. As you were saying, when these challenges from the world come, the whole sansar is like jumping on you. There is no place to hold your truth, and the life doesn't make any sense. Life has no sense, as if that you are nothing in front of that nothingness. How dare you challenge that death, the lord of death? Life has no sense, and love no place to stand. There she must plead her case upon extinction's verge. So now she is risking her life. She does not know what is to happen, but this must be done because this is the way to go ahead. So she is ready for that. She's risking herself, completely giving herself to change this iron law of mortality. In the world's death cave, uphold. Now, this is what is happening in this court where she has to fight this case. She has to hold on to this helpless claim of this fragile life. How fragile a life is. And she has to fight this case in favor of life against the death's law and vindicate, to justify. She has to justify her individual right to be and love. And this is very well connected with how we time to time have to stand up for ourselves in our own lives, as you were sharing earlier. Because you see that otherwise it doesn't make any sense. This life doesn't make any sense for me if I don't stand up for myself, if I don't speak out my truth, if I don't begin to live my truth out. This life has no meaning for me whatsoever. So you allow yourself to risk your life. Otherwise, you don't see any meaning in this, if not risking all this. So, this is the issue, the topic of the Canto 2, the issue. The issue is this debate between eternal yes and eternal no. So, the claim to immortality. This is the issue, that why is death like an iron law? Now Savitri is to challenge that. So here this canto is talking about the issue why avatars are born, to change the iron laws in the course of existence of evolution, human evolution. And then obviously they do their work and then they kind of leave their imprints and go away, because the task that they give to humanity is so huge that it takes, after the avatar is gone from the physical body, it takes hundreds of years before the actual thing begins to kind of manifest itself. Yeah.
While reading this, it's like it feeling that, our small, small, small battles seem so big. And
Hmm.
here somebody's fighting with death. Kind of.
सही कह रहे हो. लेकिन तरु, मतलब मुझे लगता है कि इट्स एक्चुअली लाइक वही है ना कि मतलब पैरेलली है ना, बिकॉज एज श्री अरविंदो एंड मदर ऑल्सो से दैट सावित्री इज द होल ऑफ ह्यूमन लाइफ. And it's not that our, because if we don't take our stand, if we don't stand for our truth in these small small battles, है ना, how could it be possible for us to even think about some challenging something like that. It's actually, अगर आप उस moment में देखो where I am fighting for my own inner truth, in that moment actually I'm standing against death only, because I'm telling him that no, I want to be, I want to explore myself, I want to redefine myself.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. But I was saying that usually because of certain things, like say fear,
Hmm.
it tries to tell you that things are much bigger than what they are, or
Hmm.
that I would not be able to do it because this is too extreme. So
Yeah.
something like this is more humbling and grounding, and it kind of tells you, कि कितने पानी में हो, या you know if this can be done or this can be attempted. Done,
Right.
not done, so it's a different thing, right? Just
Right.
attempting
Right.
in itself is the main,
Yeah,
feels like the main battle. So just humbling in that
it's
way.
true.
Should I read?
Huh.
Yeah. Altered must be nature's harsh economy. Strange to read the word nature's economy, but yeah. Acquittance? Nahi.
Acquittance.
Acquittance she must win from her past's bond. An old account of suffering exhaust. Strike out from time the soul's long compound debt, and the heavy servitude of the karmic gods, the slow revenge of unforgiving law, and the deep need of universal pain, and hard sacrifice and tragic consequence.
Yeah. So now Savitri is here, that just this harsh economy so far uh, in this nature now must be altered. This iron law will change. What is this harsh economy? Just like we see, in our life, we have bouts of pleasure and then we go through pain. We have light and then we have darkness. We have periods of where like a direct connection with knowledge is there, and then we have periods where we are ignorance, in lying in our ignorance, helpless. And then we have periods of progress, and then we have periods of inertia. So all these dualities so far needed to exist: immortality, mortality. These dualities so far were existing as if it is a law that they will continue to exist. Now Savitri is here to challenge this harsh economy of nature. She's challenging that why can't just immortality be there, owing to where we are coming from, owing to the source of our origin. Origin is divine. Why can't it be there? So this is what it is referring to, that the present state of evolution so far has been that these dualities needed to exist. For example, matter needed rest after some time of work. So work, rest, these kind of dualities were needed so far. But if they are not needed anymore, then a new evolution can come, a new race can come, where after period of light, a greater light can come. It doesn't need to be a period of darkness. And then further greater light can come. So we kind of keep on moving from light to a greater light to a greater light to a greater light, without having the need to go through continuing periods of light and darkness, which has been coming on since the Vedic times. Even Vedic rishis, as we were talking in some other session, even Vedic rishis have talked about these periods of light and darkness, alternating periods. So far they were needed in human evolution, but because now it is a kind of a challenge in front of the human evolution, that this can also be changed, which for so many centuries and so many eons has been a constant process of nature. Like, this is what is referring to the harsh economy of nature. Acquittance she must win from her past's bond, as if she has to now get released from her past burden, but the past luggage or the baggage. An old account of suffering exhaust. She has to completely exhaust, let go of all the past bondages, the pain and the suffering, in order to kind of get confronted with death. With all that baggage on her back, she cannot lead this battle. So she has to gain acquittance from the past karma, the past suffering, even referring to the past collective human suffering and human evolution, the human past. Strike out from time the soul's long debt. Compound debt, as it keeps on adding. Like, so there is this interest, and then what gets added on, uske upar interest, or फिर उसके ऊपर interest, so interest के ऊपर interest. So this is how we keep on living our karmas back to back, without even giving it a pause. And we, as if we are offering all this pain and suffering to the karmic gods and the heavy servitudes of the karmic gods. जैसे कहते हैं कि लेखा जोखा हो रहा है, सबका हिसाब रखा जा रहा है, और हम उसको पे करते चले आ रहे हैं, करते चले आ रहे हैं, करते चले आ रहे हैं. This is what Savitri has to completely cancel out. She is now to kind of disconnect those inevitable links that have been continuing this misery. The slow revenge of unforgiving law, the law of karma. Unforgiving. Unforgiving and very slow. कौन जाने कौन से ह्यूमन बर्थ में कौन से जन्म का भुगतान करना पड़ जाए. हो सकता है 2 साल ठीक ठाक से निकल जाएं किसी के, so called ठीक ठाक. Then again in the 3rd year, you are begin to pay off something else from the karma. Heavy servitudes of the karmic gods and slow revenge of unforgiving law, and the deep need of universal pain. Now this is also referring to what we saw earlier in the earlier lines, where Savitri is feeling as if there is a figure of a pain like God within her being, जिसको उसने आहुति देनी है, ऑफरिंग देनी है. और वो कहे कितनी भी ऑफरिंग दे दे अपने पेन की, अपने सफरिंग की, that pain God does not feel appeased. The deep need of universal pain. As if this is the need of the pain God, the universal pain God, who keeps on continuing this human misery कि उसको चढ़ावा मिलता रहे. And the hard sacrifice and tragic consequence. For all that one has to bear in order to continue living the past karma, continue paying our debts. This she has to challenge. She has to break this bond. She will not be another human who will be just living this life saying कि ये तो होना ही था, this will happen because it maybe something happened in the past, and this has to happen now. She is not going to go like any other human being. And also because she is fighting for the claim of earth, she is fighting on the behalf of the whole human existence, and the world is unaware of that. Yeah.
The last two lines somehow also made me think of that, how when things are like in pain, or there's a major thing, then only we wake up, right? So it
Yeah.
may be like there's something in us, जैसे होता है ना भाई, like the dog's tail, that
Hmm.
unless it's so टेढ़ा that unless something major happens, like if the
बिल्कुल.
choice of word is so strong, right? Deep need of universal pain, that we all need pain to
To
take
wake.
that step, yeah,
Yeah.
to break, and hard sacrifice, tragic consequences, like then
Yeah.
only we kind of get shaken up that, hey, yeah, probably life is not as I take it to be.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, so true. एंड समवेयर मुझे लगता है इसमें इनर्शिया भी है, द रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ अवर बीइंग टू वेक अप टू अवर ट्रू सेल्फ. And again, referring to what you shared, that is why the deep need, because we are so forgetful. There is so much of resistance, so much of inertia, unless we are pricked deeply with this needle of pain, and we go through some really hard sacrifice and tragic consequence. Unless that happens, we are not able to get a wake up call.
Yeah. And like, they say, like the Buddha, the first thing they say is that first you have to accept that life is suffering, right? Life is
Mhm.
pain. So
Mhm.
if you aren't there yet, don't even bother, because you would not go very far, right? First you need to feel that for
Pain.
you to move beyond it, right? Yeah.
बिल्कुल.
Otherwise तो एक normal उसमें ज़रूरत ही नहीं लगती, तो लगता है problem है क्या, right? That why do I need to
बिल्कुल.
change the ways when the ways are working for me?
वेरी ट्रू. आई थिंक मदर भी इसी बात पे कहती हैं कि when you see people around you who are just kind of little happy in their own life, maybe they are living surface lives, material lives, do not disturb them with spiritual stuff. क्योंकि unless one has oneself experienced that pain and suffering, one cannot actually fathom what is the need of this wake up call and all that.
And the intensity has to be severe, because when we look at people around us, I
Mm.
mean, lot of them are having substantial issues, right? Like like lot of unpeace and
Mm.
regular disturbances, but it just feels कि हाँ, it doesn't. I mean, somehow it doesn't dawn that there's any other option, right? It's just that when it's like totally a broken and shattered, and
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
huge thing happens, you're like, that's it, right? There
बिल्कुल.
has to be a way. Like
बिल्कुल.
थोड़े से चलता ही नहीं है
थोड़े से
काम.
नहीं चलता. या वी आर सो हार्ड ना. या
Yeah.
बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो. बिल्कुल सही. I think this also refers to that day we were talking about unease and ease. We have gotten so used to the unease, and kind of gone so far away from ease कि इतना लोड ऑफ अनईज हम सह लेते हैं. हमारे सहने की हमारी दाद देनी चाहिए. मतलब it's really amazing that how used to we have become to loads of unease. एंड वो लोड उसी को लगेगा जो जिसने अब ईज में रहना शुरू कर दिया या उसको टेस्ट लेना शुरू कर दिया.
And आप देखो, as a society, like everything that, almost everything that we are watching and reading, like are advertisements. Now you deserve, like you've worked hard for throughout the week, and then you deserve some kind of a break. It would be a movie, it would be a shampoo, it would be a conditioner. And everybody, like somehow वही जो एक आप बोल रहे हो कि we are so used to the unease, that, and everybody says that that's all right, like
दैट्स
जिंदगी
ऑलराइट.
है, ये तो होगा ही टाइप्स ना, कि why are you looking for something else, like it just feels silly. And
बिल्कुल.
imagine जब ये शुरू, I don't know when, but for us to be so collectively okay with the stress level that we are in, अपने में बहुत strange बात लगती है कि how did this happen, how did we reach here, right? कि how when it started, we didn't wake up कि ओ ये क्या हो रहा है, right? Kind somehow.
और साथ में फिर वही है ना, सोसाइटी भी एज यू शेयर्ड, यू नो, एडवर्टाइजमेंट सपोर्ट करती है उसको. सोसाइटी, इवन इफ आई टॉक टू यू नो माय ओन फैमिली, माय ओन रिलेटिव्स अबाउट मे बी सम ऑफिस स्ट्रेस आई मे बी गोइंग ऑन, यू नो, और मे बी सम फैमिली स्ट्रेस आफ्टर अ न्यू मैरिज, मतलब आई एम वंडरिंग हु वुड टेल मी टू एक्चुअली एक्ट अपॉन इट, एंड हु वुड से कि ये तो होता ही है. दिस इज पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ, यू नो, यू मस्ट गेट काइंड ऑफ used to it or find your own way out. Yeah.
And I think in the same on the same lines, like when we say are walking on the path of say finding ourselves, as long as we are doing something else, say if I have a 9 to 5 job, and
Mm.
then probably from 9 to 10 in the night, if I am doing something that's much more accepted, that
Mm.
okay that you're paying a price and you're supporting this and you're doing your chores and stuff, and now if you take an hour, it's justified. But
Yeah.
if you're not doing anything materialistically and
Mm.
you're just looking at this, then you don't deserve that, right? This is
True.
not real.
True. True. Yeah. Yeah. आई थिंक शायद तभी, पता नहीं प्रशांत सर का सुना था, किसका सुना था, याद नहीं आ रहा. यू नो, वी रियली हैव टू पे अ प्राइस फॉर अवर ओन फ्रीडम, यू नो, टू लूज ऑल द रेस्पेक्ट and to just be shameless, you know, like a nobody also, and just be madly after one's own truth. So actually one needs to pay this price off.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. और देखा जाए तो ये प्राइस कुछ भी नहीं है. देखा जाए तो कितना चीप.
But actually हम इतनी दूर खड़े होते हैं from the borderline of this crossing over that
Yeah.
it seems huge, right? Because like every from when we have grown up, it's like relations and acceptance and validations and
उसको
so
वेट
to
दिया
just
जाता है. हाँ. हम्म. ये ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे करेंसी होती है ना, करेंसी डेवलप हो रही है एज लॉन्ग द मोमेंट वी आर बोर्न, एज इफ वी आर डेवलपिंग अ करेंसी, यू नो, कि किसकी ज्यादा वेटेज है. दिस मच ऑफ वेटेज टू द रिलेशनशिप, दिस इज द वेटेज टू द स्टूडेंट लाइफ, दिस इज द वेटेज टू द जॉब, दिस इज द वेटेज टू द किड्स. एंड उसको वेटेज दे दे के जो हमने खुद नहीं दी है, वो एज इफ कि वी आर डेवलपिंग दिस करेंसी, और जब अपना सामने आता
मैजिक
है.
कलर से मेरे लिए कुछ ब्यूटीफुल बनाओ. So sorry.
या इट्स ओके. सो जब बारी आती है टू फाइंड योर ओन ट्रू सेल्फ, यू नो, टू स्टैंड अप फॉर योर ओन इनर ट्रुथ, तो क्योंकि हम ये करेंसी ऑलरेडी डेवलप कर चुके हैं, वो इतनी हैवी लगती है कि लगता है कि यार चल, ट्रूथ ही तो है, छोड़ देते हैं. इतना सारा वजन है दूसरी तरफ, क्योंकि पता ही नहीं लगता कि कैसे धीरे धीरे उसको वेट दे दिया जिसको देना भी नहीं था.
If you remember, once we had together heard the talk when we had gone to the ashram,
हम्म.
that how it's like we are collecting brownie points throughout our
या
lives,
या
and they amount to nothing, right? We
नथिंग
keep collecting them in a hope that this will give me something. And
एग्जैक्टली.
when we actually go out, there's no everybody's like इसका मैं क्या
इससे
करूँ,
कुछ
ये तो
भी नहीं
करना है
मिलता.
था. Yeah.
या, सो ट्रू. This reminds me, you know, Anand and I told you, na, Anand and Chinmay were photocopying these notes, the currency notes, and
Yeah.
then they were so excited कि इससे कुछ मिलेगा, है ना, उसको आगे का कर दिया फोटोकॉपी, पीछे का कर लिया अलग से, then they pasted it, and they were so excited and they came to us and tell, you know, कि ये किसको दें और इससे कुछ लेना है, खरीदना है. And then, you know, it was like it just amounts to nothing. Yeah. Okay. Out of a timeless barrier, she must break, penetrate with her thinking depths the void's monstrous hush, look into the lonely eyes of immortal death, and with her nude spirit measure the infinite's night. So again, the task that Savitri has to do. Out of a timeless barrier, she must break. She has to break this. She has to go beyond time and space, because if we live in time and space, the soul needs to carry all the burden of the karma of the past lives and all that, or the law of death. So she has to break this barrier of time and space, penetrate with her thinking depths, with the depths of her inner being, the might and the strength of her inner being. She has to use that kind of a sword to penetrate the void's monstrous hush, this nothing, void of darkness, the death that is right now going to come in front of her. That is what she has to penetrate, gather all her courage, all her strength from the inner being's inmost depths, and she has to confront this monstrous hush of the void. Look straight into the lonely eyes of immortal death. Immortal death. As if nothing can challenge that. Immortal death. How Sri Aurobindo has placed this together. Look into the lonely eyes of immortal death. पता नहीं कब से है, कब तक रहेगी, no idea. And with her nude spirit, unarmed, she does not have any help so far, and she will not have any help. With her nude spirit, measure the infinite's night, the night of darkness, the death. Infinite, as because it is coming from the infinite, it is coming from the divine. It is infinite also, the void, the death, the fathomless abyss. This is what now she is face to face with. The great and dolorous moment now was close. Dolorous moment, full of sorrow and pain, heavy with sorrow and sadness. The great and dolorous moment now was close. Satyavan's going to die. Yeah. And now, as if, when they talk about her nude spirit, measure the infinite's night. So, it reminded me of uh, as if she's standing up naked, unarmed in front of this unknown abyss and challenging it, aaj dekhe zara kisme kitna hai dam. Such is the power of the spirit. Such is the power and strength and might of the spirit. There is no idea what is there in the front, but still she is able to challenge with all her might, with all her aloneness, facing this vast nothingness, which will come in detail in book 9 and 10.
The word nude also basically reminded me of, like, say, burdenless, right? Like there's nothing on that spirit, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Everything has been removed.
Taken off, yeah.
A mail battalion marching to its doom. The last long days went by with heavy tramp, long but too soon to pass, too near the end, alone amid the many faces loved, aware among knowing happy hearts, her armored spirit kept watch upon the hours, listening for a foreseen tremendous step in the close beauty of the inhuman wilds.
Yeah. Now, as the moments are passing, one by one, it's as if there is a battalion marching, army battalion, marching to its doom. They know that they are going to die. They know that the enemy is too huge. The enemy is too challenging, too difficult. And they know they are ready, prepared for their death. So a battalion is marching to its own doom, to the other party. The last long days, this is how the last long days felt, like they were marching towards their own end. The last long days went by with heavy tramp. How would one march ahead in front of others' army when you know that the army is really strong and death is not far away? We are putting our own lives at risk. How would the trump be? How would the marching be? Heavy tramp, long but too soon to pass. These were very long days because they were heavy with the foreknowledge of Satyavan's passing away. But they were also very close, like they approached too soon. पता भी नहीं लगा कि निकल गए दिन. Too near the end. So although they appeared long with the heavy foreknowing of Satyavan's death, but they also appeared too soon to pass. They just passed too fastly, too quickly. Alone amid the many faces loved. Now Savitri, although she was living with Satyavan and Satyavan's parents, but she was all alone. She did not share this foreknowing with anyone. Alone amid the many faces loved, aware among unknowing happy hearts. She was the only one who was aware of the impending doom. And that is the reason she could not be happy in that knowing, foreknowing. Although the people around her, because they did not know about that, they were unknowingly happy. And this reminded me of what Kabir says. Kabir says, सुखिया सब संसार है, खाए और सोए, दुखिया दास कबीर है, जागे और रोए. कि तो मतलब संसार इतना ज्यादा सोया है कि उसको दुख ही नहीं, उसको पता ही नहीं है कि दुख हो तो किस बात का हो. और क्योंकि कबीर जगा हुआ है, उसको पता है कि हम क्या मिस कर रहे हैं और कहाँ हो सकते हैं और कहाँ गिरे पड़े हैं. And that is why he is awake and he is in tears. So he cannot be happy. And Kabir also says, कि तुम तो रो, रोने के बिना तुम्हें नहीं मिलेगा. तुम तो रो, रोना बहुत जरूरी है. To actually go through that pain where we realize that there is something more to this life. There must be something more. Only then we allow the spirit to kind of unmask itself. Aware among unknowing happy hearts, her armored spirit kept watch upon the hours. Armored matlab with strength, armored with courage, armored with deep inner knowing, deep inner wisdom. Her armored spirit, armored with the sense of divine touch, kept watch upon the hours, listening for a foreseen tremendous step. She's kind of, जैसे पता हो कि ट्रेन ने आना है, so then you kind of are waiting for on the tracks. If you put your ears, you know that okay, this is the sound. So now she knows that the death is to arrive, death is to come. She's as if listening very carefully for a foreseen, which has already been foreseen, tremendous step in the closed beauty of the inhuman wilds. So she is in the forest, kind of enclosed within this inhumanness, because there are not many humans there. There is kind of a wilderness there. Everything is run mostly by nature, the tendencies, the impulses of nature. And this also refers to how, as a collective society, we are. There is hardly any humanity that is alive usually in us. What is alive is the tendencies, the impulses to eat, to drink, to sleep. This is all is alive in the closed beauty of inhuman wilds. There are only two, three people around Savitri. Savitri may be parents of Satyavan and Satyavan himself, and rest all is nature. And as if she was closed in this beauty of this wilderness, alone, all by herself in this foreknowing.
This thing that actually Satyavan has to die, right?
Yeah.
Like Satyavan is dying, truth is dying, but there's some other energy that's needed to save it, right? Like,
Mm.
so I don't know, like the different places for different, I don't know, people have different capacities, capabilities. Like, why did truth need saving from somewhere else? Why was it not Satyavan who was going through all that?
Mm. एक्चुअली मुझे लगता है दिस इज ऑल्सो लिंक टू द एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ क्रिएशन जैसे कि देर इज वन एज वी से देर इज पुरुषा द विटनेस एंड देन देर इज द लाइफ फोर्स विच इज although the manifestation of one divine only, but it is the aspect is different just as a matter of creation. So when we talk about Durga or life force, the Shakti, that is the aspect which can move things, which can change things. Although it is coming from that divine only from which the truth has come. But the aspects are different, the qualities of the aspects are different. So truth by itself needs the help of the life force, the Shakti aspect of the divine parent only. So, as if truth and Shakti are two aspects of one divine parent, coming from one origin only, just as a kind of a matter of manifestation, because they separated. In manifestation, things separate. Yeah. Okay.
A combatant in silent dreadful lists, the world unknowing, for the world she stood. No helper had she save the strength within, there was no witness of terrestrial eyes. The gods above and nature's soul below, were spectators of that mighty strife.
Mhm. Now, Sri Aurobindo has here used this army reference, this word called lists, dreadful lists. So lists is a kind of a space where we mark two spaces. There are, for example, two armies, and they know that the armies are kind of really equally placed. That if 100 armors are 100 soldiers are there, 100 are here, so it's kind of equally placed both the armies. And then one combatant from each of the army, one champion from each of the army is sent out in front. There is a space marked for both of them. Lists is that space where there is a space marked, and there these champions from both the sides will be fighting. So this is what the status is now. Savitri is the champion from the human race. She is representing She is the mightiest of all of the human army, a combatant in silent, dreadful lists, the space that has been now marked for this combat. The world unknowing, for the world she stood. किसी को खबर नहीं है वो क्या लड़ाई लड़ने जा रही है. The whole world for which she is actually fighting this fight, the world itself is unaware of this combat. This is how avatars silently come and do their job. The task, the job that Mother, for example, Sri Aurobindo and Mother have done, or previous avatars have done. Now, I wonder if we have any idea of what they have given to us. I really wonder, कितना revealed है और कितना अभी भी unrevealed है. The world has no clue what this champion is standing for, what this champion is fighting for. Their own rights, but the world has no idea. No helper had she save the strength within. Only her inner strength, only her spirit's inner strength was her helper. That was it. There were no cheerleaders on her side. As there's written here, there was no witness of terrestrial eyes. It's just an inner battle. There's nobody there on this side or the other side of the army or here who is watching this game and cheering her up. Yes, Savitri, you can do it. Nobody is there. No terrestrial eyes are there. The only eyes are the gods above and the nature soul below. These are the lone watchers. And these are not terrestrial eyes. These are the lone watchers, lone witness of this mighty strife. Were the spectators of that mighty strife. Yeah. I think this also reminds me very, very strongly again and again to, as you were saying, you were also sharing these really challenging periods in our life, really challenging, dark, if I can say, periods where one feels completely, utterly alone, even when there may be people around, but even then one feels utterly alone, all by himself. And it's not that one wants to be there. If I recall my own time, little experience with that kind of a thing, no, it's not that. Yeah. So I was sharing that in the times of really difficult, challenging, when one is all alone by himself, by herself, although one may not want to be in that place because it's actually painful, it's kind of you're all alone, there is no one you can share with, but these are the times where we actually have the potential or the maybe the capacity to connect to that deeper strength. Otherwise, when we are just shallowing wallowing around in the surface consciousness, we usually do not give ourselves that chance to get in touch with that inner might, inner strength. ऐसा लगता है कि जरूरत ही क्या है, it's not needed, काम तो चल ही रहा है. So when one is kind of pushed into that kind of a dark challenge or darkness, a period where you cannot share anything with anyone, maybe you think that people are not understanding, better not to share, all that. So even in that kind of a so-called seeming sorrowful, sadful stage, I think that is the time where we get this opportunity to be intimate with our true self. Otherwise, we are so usually happy-go-lucky in the valuing around in the surface consciousness that we don't give ourselves this chance, owing to the pain one has to actually go through being all alone by oneself and then getting in touch with the deeper essence. So again, here I see the dualities merge, because pain and suffering is also bringing you greater delight, greater clarity, greater joy. So then what is there to be afraid of, कि वो है तो भी ठीक है, अगर pain and suffering है तो even, even better, I would say, what new would now come up, you never know.